It's a lie. The words roared in my head as I stood in the courtroom. My heart thundered like a storm. Hidden truths tangled like vines in my family's past, gnawing at my very core. Glancing at the judge, I felt uncertainty clawing at me. My lawyer's words washed over me like empty waves, hollow and unconvincing. My mind spiraled to Carla, my first love, a bittersweet ghost lingering in the corner of my thoughts, balancing on the edge of hope and despair. Suddenly, the door burst open. Carla stood there, breathless, grasping a recorder like it was a lifeline. "I have something," she declared. My stomach flipped. This could change everything. But what if it shattered my family instead? A cold sweat prickled my skin. The room buzzed with anticipation, every eye fixed on her. I felt the tension in the air, thick and suffocating. I could almost hear the whispers, low and urgent, a scandal brewing beneath the surface. Carla's eyes locked onto mine, pleading for understanding. But I was torn. Her revelation might obliterate everything I held dear. I felt dizzy, like the ground shifted under my feet. The crowd gasped, breaths hitching. Shock rippled through them, and I could sense their judgment like a weight on my shoulders. I trembled, every heartbeat a drum against my ribs. The room felt too small, walls closing in. My family, my roots, teetered on the brink of exposure. What if this truth was darker than I could bear? The judge cleared his throat, his expression unreadable. Silence wrapped around us, thick and heavy, as if the entire universe awaited some verdict. And just then, an overwhelming wave surged through me. Panic, guilt, or dread? I didn't know. But the truth was alive, thrumming just below the surface. Could I stand to confront it? Was I ready to shatter my world to save my own skin? A burning tension pulsed in my veins, a cliffhanger waiting for its moment to unleash. Something terrible lingered on the horizon, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was about to step into darkness, unaware of what lay ahead. Before you go on, let me tell you something. A lot of people have been saying that YouTube, out of nowhere, unsubscribes them from the channel. Take a quick look to make sure the red button is on. That way you won't miss any of the videos still to come. And while you're at it, hit the like button, because it really helps me keep bringing you stories like this. Oh, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'd love to know. My heart stopped as Carla's voice rang out, her words slicing through the thick air. "It's about your father," she breathed, the weight of her revelation striking me like a punch. I stared at her, confusion twisting in my gut. My father? What could he possibly have done? The room buzzed, tension snapping like a taut wire. Carla pressed the recorder closer, eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "He's not who you think he is. He's not your biological father. Shock coursed through me, icy fingers creeping up my spine. I felt the ground give way. Stop, my voice trembled, a mixture of dread and desperation. How could this be true? How could everything I knew be crumbling so fast? The courtroom's silence turned heavy, suffocating. I thought of my mother, her smile, her unwavering love. Had it all been a lie? The silence was deafening. I felt Carla's gaze pierce me. Understanding, urgency, fear. But my heart raced towards anger, betrayal bubbling just beneath the surface. "Why now?" I whispered. Before she could answer, the judge's gavel struck, sharp and decisive. The finality echoed, reverberating in my chest. A truth so dark, so monumental, lay sprawled before me. I was on the edge of an abyss, teetering precariously. What was left to trust? Would I still recognize my own reflection after this? The air crackled with uncertainty, every heartbeat an unanswered question. Who am I now? My heart raced. The air felt electric, charged with disbelief. "What do you mean?" I gasped. Carla's revelation twisted like a knife in my gut. When she hesitated, I felt every eye pinning me down. The silence was deafening. I could hear my own breathing, fast and shallow. "Your mother, she had an affair," Carla murmured. The words hung in the air, thick and suffocating. A betrayal. No. Denial flared inside me, igniting a firestorm of emotions. Rage. Grief. I felt dizzy, as if the ground beneath me had vanished. "Your brother. He's your half-brother." A gasp from the crowd. Eyes widened, shocked whispers rippling. A wave of nausea swept over me. This was impossible. Everything I believed, everything I cherished, was it a facade? "Why didn't you tell me?" I shouted, anger spilling over. Tears threatened to spill, hot and stinging. Carla took a step forward, her expression pleading. "I didn't know how, but you deserve to know." Every heartbeat thudded in my ears. My family was built on lies. The walls felt as though they were closing in. Who can I trust? The words fell from my lips, shaky and raw. My pulse raced. The breath caught in my throat. I looked around the courtroom, at the judgmental stares, the hushed murmurs. Was everyone complicit? Could I face my mother, knowing this new truth? This revelation felt like a betrayal wrapped in love, a darkness I never saw coming. My hands trembled. I was unmoored, drifting into chaos. What would I do now? The gavel struck again, piercing the storm in my chest. The weight of uncertainty settled like a stone in my gut. I was on the brink of losing everything. And just like that, questions swirled. Who am I now? My world spun on its axis. "What else?" I gasped, searching Carla's eyes, pleading for more. The room hummed with disbelief. My heart racing like a wild animal. Your father. He didn't just cheat. He... Carla hesitated, the weight of her words choking her. He was involved in something much darker. Money laundering. Drugs. They used your uncle's business as a front. A fist gripped my chest, squeezing tight. I felt lightheaded, reality blurring. No, not my dad. The crowd murmured, curious whispers slithering around me. She pressed on, desperation flickering in her gaze. Your mother knew. She was scared. Hiding it? That's why she stayed. Frozen, I barely registered the gasp from a stranger in the back. Betrayal cut deeper than I thought possible, like glass shards embedding in my skin. Is that why my family never felt whole? I breathed, anger bubbling. Why everything feels like a lie? Yes, Carla said softly. But there's more. Her voice trembled, sending chills down my spine. Your brother, he's in danger. They're looking for him. A cold rush surged through me, panic tightening my throat. What do you mean? I rasped. Fear clawed at my sanity. You must know. They think he's the key to it all. I staggered back, the crowd shrinking as shadows loomed larger. The attorney's voice was drowned out by my pounding heart. My whole life dismantled. Could I trust anyone? I felt the walls closing in, the air thick with judgment, my world collapsing. Who's coming after him? I pressed, my voice barely a whisper. Carla glanced nervously at the judge. The tension was palpable. The people your father ran with, it's dangerous. You might be targeted, too. My chest tightened, a vice grip of fear. The darkness threatened to swallow me whole. What do I do? My voice trembled, each word heavy with dread. But she just stood there, eyes frantic, and the silence hung like a noose. Who was I now, and what price would I pay for the truth? My heart raced, pounding against my ribcage like a frantic drum. What do you mean? I repeated, panic spiking my voice. Carla's eyes flickered as if she were torn, a storm of emotions betraying her. I should have told you sooner, but her hesitation hung in the air, smothering me in dread. Just say it! I pressed, tension coiling tighter in my chest. Suddenly, she stepped closer, her voice barely above a whisper. You're not the only one. Your mother, she was involved too. My breath hitched, blood roaring in my ears. Stop, Carla. What are you saying? Her gaze dropped, shame flooding her face. She was your father's accomplice. Shock paralyzed me. My mother? My heart sank, twisting with betrayal. No, I gasped, a cold sweat breaking out across my brow. The crowd shifted, whispers buzzing like angry bees. I felt their judgment, sharp and relentless. Why? I asked, each word a dagger. She wanted to protect you, protect your brother. But the lies piled up. It got out of hand. My senses whirled. A well of confusion and rage threatened to drown me. My family was a web of deception. Everything I thought I knew shattered. Is this why she's distant? Carla nodded, tears streaming down her face. She's afraid of what they might do if they find out. Panic clawed at my throat. Find out? Who? I swallowed hard. The weight of hidden truths threatening to crush me. Their partners, they're still out there, looking for her, for him. A chill wrapped around my spine. My brother. The words sank in like lead. I felt every heartbeat thud in my ears. What do I do? I whispered, vulnerability coursing through me. Carla reached out, desperation in her eyes. You have to confront her. She's the only one who can explain. Just then, the judge interrupted. Order in the court! His voice echoed, cutting through the tension like a knife. I looked around, the weight of the room pressing down on my shoulders. Questions flooded my mind, relentless and haunting. Could I face my mother? Could I even trust her? Silence enveloped me, thick and suffocating. The answer loomed over us like a storm cloud. What awaited me on the other side of this revelation? Would I find clarity or more darkness? My knees weakened. What did you just say? I felt the walls around me pulse. The courtroom now a chaotic whirlpool of accusation and fear. My breath hitched as I looked into Carla's eyes, desperate for clarity. Your mother's not just an accomplice. She's been running the whole operation. Shock shattered my reality. No, it couldn't be. My heart raced, thundering against my chest like a war drum. I staggered back, nausea twisting my insides. You're lying! I wish I was, she whispered, tears streaming down her face. She thought she could protect you from the truth. Betrayal seared my heart. Protect me or herself? The crowd shifted, murmurs rising like a dark tide. I was drowning. My whole life built on a foundation of deception. My fingers trembled, cold sweat trickling down my back. I can't believe this. Carla nodded, her voice breaking. You have to confront her before it's too late. Too late. The notion screeched in my mind. I could feel the walls closing in, suffocating me under their weight. What if her lies turned dangerous? What if the threats were real? The judge's gavel echoed, but I barely registered it. My mother, my safe space, was entwined in darkness. Who is she? I rasped, fear tightening my throat, and the silence deepened, almost alive, the air thick with unasked questions. My hands trembled as I processed Carla's words, my reality unraveling. She ran everything? I whispered, disbelief crashing over me like icy waves. Could my mother have orchestrated such chaos? I felt dizzy. The air was thick, suffocating. My chest tightened, breath escaping me in rapid gasps. How could she? Just then a voice cut through the chaos, a low growl from the back of the courtroom. "And you think you're the only one in danger?" I turned, my heart racing. A stranger stood there, menacing, eyes filled with dark knowledge. "What do you know?" He took a step forward, the echoes of his words sending a chill down my spine. "Your mother's secrets. They're about to surface, and it's not just her in jeopardy." Dread pooled in my stomach. My thoughts spiraled. "What do you mean?" The silence hung, a thick veil of uncertainty. I felt the room closing in, everyone watching, waiting for my reaction. Was my life truly at stake? Would they come for me too? My pulse raced, each beat a reminder of the danger lurking just beyond my grasp. Then, the weight of his gaze entrenched me further in my turmoil. "You have to choose. Protect her or save yourself." What was I supposed to do with this? What choice could I make? And just like that, I was left with a question that seemed to echo endlessly. Who could I trust? I felt the weight of his words coil around my throat, choking me. Protect her or save yourself. My heart raced, the air turning thick with dread. I turned to Carla, searching her face for understanding, for an answer. But just then, my mother stepped into the courtroom, her eyes wild. "You shouldn't be here!" The air felt electric. "What have you done?" I shouted, anguish lacing my voice. She hesitated, and everything hung in the balance. The truth, our lives. Then a voice behind her cut through the tension. "She's not who you think she is. I am your real mother." The ground fell from beneath me. Shock ripped through me. My vision blurred. No, how could this be? The woman I loved, the one I thought I knew, was she really the villain? The courtroom echoed with gasps, whispers flooding in waves. My breath came in ragged bursts. I felt nausea twist my stomach, my heart hammering in my chest. "What?" I managed, fighting the shadows closing in. "Everything she told you? All lies." "Stop!" My voice cracked, desperation clawing at me. "You're lying!" But the silence that followed was heavy, laden with 1,000 unsaid truths. I trembled. My insides knotted with disbelief. How could I trust anyone now? "Who are you?" I was gasping, fighting back tears. The tension was suffocating, chaos brewing just beneath the surface. "You need to choose," she continued, and I felt the cold pressure of reality settling around me. And just like that, I was thrust deeper into chaos. Who was my mother now? My heart raced, pounding waves in my chest. Every eye was on us, but all I could see was her. "Mom, is it true?" My voice cracked, panic wrapping around my throat. She didn't answer, just looked away, a storm brewing in her eyes. "Enough!" the stranger shouted, teeth bared. Enough lies! He stepped forward. My skin prickled. You think she's your mother? His words hung heavy. She adopted you. The truth? She was never pregnant. A jagged breath escaped my lips. No, it couldn't be. My world spun, echoing with betrayal. The woman you knew, just a cover. My stomach lurched. Frozen, I felt nauseous. Cold sweat creeping down my back. She took you from the real family. They want you back. Gasps erupted like fireworks. Despair clawed at my insides. What was real anymore? And then came the laughter. A churning, dark echo from the crowd. Choose who to trust, the stranger taunted, glancing at my mother. I felt the weight of every gaze, every whisper crushing me. What if I had no one? What if I was nothing? Silence descended like a thick fog. Everything I thought I knew shattered into a million pieces, scattering like ashes in the wind, leaving me with one harrowing thought. Who was I, really? My heart pounded, the courtroom's chaos fading into a distant hum. I'm not who you think I am, I whispered, feeling the truth thunder inside me. The stranger's words echoed, wrapping around my mind like a noose. I choose to break free, I said, facing my mother's wide eyes, filled with remorse. I stepped away, resolute, bracing for the fallout. I'll find the truth, no more lies. Carla's hand squeezed mine. A flicker of hope ignited. My life was in shambles, but maybe, just maybe, I could rebuild. As I walked out, I knew I was no longer lost. I was ready to reclaim who I was. You need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait any longer to share your thoughts in the comments. What did you think of the ending? Press the like button now to help the algorithm. Share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion. If you liked my story, keep going and watch the next one that's appearing now. I think it will move you too.